All right, hello. I'm going to go through a couple of things we covered in class the other day, either if you're away or if you would like some revision to prepare yourself for the test that's coming up later this week. So let's get stuck into that. Now, the way this assessment is going to work, and forgive me for my terrible drawing as we go through, is essentially we're going to be looking at prices of things, and there's going to be an original price. You have to bear with my terrible writing. Original. There's original price. There's going to be a percentage discount, so percent, or it could be an increase actually, so I'll just leave it as percent. And then there's going to be some sort of new price. All right, so it's all about that transformation, and essentially you're going to pick a bunch of products from a list, and you're going to have to solve this mathematically in test conditions. Now, there are a couple of different scenarios here where it might have, well, there are three different possible scenarios because on the assessment, any one of these three values could be missing. And dependent on which one is missing, we're going to solve it in a slightly different way. Now, let's say we go off the easiest one, which is where the new price is the one that's missing. So we have the original, we have the percentage discount, but we don't have the new. Okay. Well, in that case, let's think about. Well, let me write an example. That's probably the best way to do it. Maybe I'll actually type this in so it's easy to read. Let's say we had $45.50 was the original price, and then they did a 20% discount. What would the new price be? All right. So that's the scenario that we have set up here. So if we don't have what the new price is, essentially what we have to do is we need to think about, well, if I paid full price, which is this 45.50, what percentage of that price am I paying if I paid the whole thing? Hopefully we're on the same page and you're saying that if you pay all of something, you pay 100%, right? So we pay 100%. What we're going to do is if we're doing a 20% discount, we're going to subtract away 20% from that 100, all right? And that should leave you with 80%. Forgive me again, my writing's not good. All right, that's 80% that's left over. Yeah, okay. Well, if we have 80% left over, let's calculate what 80% of the original price is, and that will tell us what our new price is. Well, how do you do 80% of something? 80% of 45.50. All right, 45.50 was 80% of that. Now, we've actually done this before in previous lessons, so maybe from here you might be feeling a bit more confident to give it a go on your own, but if not, it's okay. What we do is we convert this from a decimal to a percentage. Sorry, the other way around, from a percentage to a decimal, right? It's hard to solve the percentage. So 80%, I'll write it over here just so it's not in the way, divided by 100% gives us 0.8, right? So whenever you're taking something from percentage to decimal, you just divide it by 100. So 0.8, instead of, we replace it with a time. 0.8 times 45.50 will give us our answer. Let's get out our calculator here. Let's find out exactly what 0.8 times 45.50 is. 0.8 times $45.50 is $36.40. Right? $36.40. Which seems about right. That's good. That is our final answer. So that is our new price, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, fingers crossed that makes sense. All right. So let's look at now let's look at the possibility that okay, we've done one where we're finding the new price. I'm forgetting how to speak English all of a sudden. Let's pretend that we'll do another one, and this time we'll have the percentage and the new value, but not the original value. Right, so this time the original value is unknown. So similar to before. How do I not type anymore? Okay, right. So similar to before, we have our original value, and I'll use a different color for this, but we don't know our original value. We have our percentage off. So let's say we took off 30%, and now the new price is let's say it's $21 and I don't know 30 cents, right? So we did some sort of calculation here and we got this. Now, as you can see from above, we'll follow the exact same process here. So we go, okay, if 30% discount, that means we do 100 minus 30, which gives us, it means that our new value is 70% of the previous one, right? So we got 70% in here, and then we convert it from a percentage to a decimal. And to do that, we divide it by 100. It's always by 100. So 70 divided by 100 will be 0.7. And then we have a similar formula to before, right? So we don't know similar to above where we had the 80, we don't know this value. We know that we multiply it by 0.7, which is our blue value, so 0.7, and then that should equal 2130. I'm going to do a little bit of algebra here, but you won't have to do this because this will always be the case. But essentially, if you have an unknown on this side times by 0.7, to undo that, you can actually divide this side by 0.7, right, and remove this entirely. So don't stress too much if you're not too sure about that. But essentially, we divide our new price by whatever number we get from this sum here. Right, so 2130 divided by 0.7. 2130 divided by 0.7. So it's like $30.43. Right? $30. So this is our green value. I stuffed up with the wrong color, but it's okay. $30.43 was the original price, right? So that's kind of similar to before. And I'll write down all these formulas for you at the end, just in case you're not too sure. Okay, let's do a third one. Let's just sweep down this a bit more, and we'll do the third scenario, which is probably the most formula-like one. All right. So what if we know our original value? Let's say it's $35. Something happens to it. There's some sort of discount or increase. All right. There's some sort of unknown percentage change. And then from that unknown percentage change, we get our new price. All right. So let's say in this case it's $27.50. Okay. What's happened to this 35 to make the new price $27.50? There must have been some sort of discount, or at least so you would assume, right? So we're going to use a specific formula for this. I'm going to write over here on its own like little area. So it's new So the new price minus the original price, divided by the original price. Now that sounds a bit strange, right? And you multiply that whole thing by 100, and that'll make it your percentage. So let's give this a go and see what we get. We'll go, okay, the new price is $27.50. $27.50. Subtract away our original price, which is $35, and then we divide the whole thing by $35. Yeah, cool. And that whole thing is multiplied by 100. Yeah, cool. Let's do this sum now and find out what it is. So we got 27.5 minus 35. That is negative 7.5. All right. Now negative 7.5 all divided by 35 now. All right, so I've just done this top bit so far here. I'm going to divide this by 35. And that gives me 0.214, and then just to make this a nice number, I multiply it by 100, which makes it a percentage. So I got negative 21.42, or negative 21.43, if I'm rounding correctly. Negative 21.43%. Now you might question, what does the negative mean? Well, the reason that we've set up the formula like this is, in this case, a negative percent indicates that there was a price discount. If it was a positive number, it would suggest there was a price increase. In this case, there has been a discount of 21.43%, which has changed our 35 by this amount to equal 27.50. As you can see, if we do 35 times 0. What would that be? Oh, I'll do it this way instead. 0.2143. Right, gives us that. And if we subtract that away, let's stuff that up. 0.2143 minus 0. 1243 multiplied by 35. That gives us 7.5. That's slightly over, but that's because it's rounded. And if we were to subtract 7.5 from 35, we get 27.50, just like we had time. All right. So yeah, you can see how that works. All right. So all you need to do is get up to this stage and then say it was a discount or an increase or whatever. So there's a couple of examples there. What I'm going to do is I'll encourage you to give a couple of these a go, and I'll write a couple of questions into OneNote, and you can give them a shot when you're ready. So give them a go and come speak to me if you need some help before the assessment. Thank you. Bye.